Hey guys, my name is Divya. This is a series of videos that I started on my YouTube channel, and I wanted to do the second video and give you 3 more tips to study for the SHRM exam. I took the SCP exam, but I think all these tips apply both to the CP and the SCP exam. The point is to know that one can definitely crack the exam and get certified. So here we go. Review, and re-review. I know this sounds really obvious, and it's something that we all know that we should look at the material and we should look at it again. But I think one needs to remind one's own self that repetition is the mother of learning. So you may be an HR professional that's been in the profession for more than a decade and you know the ins and outs of the profession, but I think that this is an exam that deserves your attention. I studied for about 3 to 4 months and I did about an hour and 20 minutes each day and took weekends off so that I could spend some time with my son and actually do things and enjoy life as we go. But I think reviewing and re-reviewing the material actually ensured that I have cemented the material in my brain cells. And that's what we want. We want to cement the material so that it's actually there during the exam when we need to retrieve it. To have a distraction. This may seem counterintuitive, but I think that when we're studying for a certification exam, we have enough time such that we can delay the exam a little bit as long as it's within the testing window of the SHRM specification. So you need to have a distraction. My distraction is my 4-year-old. He has the funniest games and the best creative stuff that he does with his coloring and paint box. So I always think that that's the distraction that makes me learn while I'm not actually studying. So this is something that I truly believe, that our muscles grow when we're resting and not when we're at the gym. And I think the same thing applies for muscle memory of the brain. Things get cemented when you're resting, when you're having fun, when you have a distraction, and when you do things in life that we do every single day. So I hope that you have a distraction, you're having some fun while studying for this tough exam. It is a tough exam, everybody knows it, but I think we're going to get through this. 3, and I think my most important tip for this video, we should know what is testable. What does that mean? What do I really mean when I say we should know what is testable? Every time I look at a particular set of notes, I want to look at it and think about what I'm going to ask if I were the examiner. If I were the person setting the questions, what would I ask from a particular section? When we look at the material that way, it makes us look at it from a different angle rather than rereading the same sentences, which might get a bit boring. So let's take an example and see what is really testable. So this is what I came up with. So I hope everyone has seen this particular graph. This is in the workplace section of the SHRM learning management system, and it basically divides up organizations or companies based on their global integration and local responsiveness. The more locally responsive you are, the more bent you are towards the right-hand side of the x-axis, and the higher the global integration, the higher you go on the y-axis. So this is a fairly familiar chart. So what I did into my notes is something that I wanted to share with you. I looked at this material in the SHRM learning management system, and I came up with my own notes. I broke companies down with what I thought was testable. My graph looks like. I broke it down in terms of making connections with a company and its centricism. Okay, so here we go. A global company is more likely to be regio-centric. A transnational company, which is high both on global integration and local responsiveness, is more likely to be geocentric. Similarly, international companies are more likely to be ethnocentric, whereas multi-domestic companies are more likely to be polycentric. I also came up with things that were mentioned in the learning management systems. If you are someone with high competition, like an aircraft manufacturing industry or a telecommunications industry, you are most likely what sort of a company? The answer to that is a global company. The term globalization is most often referred to with transnational companies, and international companies are companies that maintain clear lines of distinctions, like the defense forces. So if you're doing any kind of supply chain with the defense forces, you're more than likely an international company. I also made notes for multi-domestic companies because they mirror images of the home country, and local level is where knowledge is most likely stored. So these are things that are testable out of a particular section, and it benefits everybody to look at a particular section and see what is really testable. These are my 3 most important tips for this particular video. I wish everyone all the very best. Thank you very much for watching.